Currently, we have a global energy crisis. How do you see this is affecting the hospitality industry, especially the restaurants, F&B business, your QSRs, hotels? All of them have been affected regardless.
India is not just the one country that is suffering this energy crisis. The entire world is suffering for the same problem, and everyone is in the queue and everyone needs to be filled.
The cleaner forms of energy, this good. Why hasn't the industry already moved to these kind of energy forms?
The base level, they are not really willing to adapt. It's a stigma basically.
The first thing is we're talking about the shortage of the LPG.
It's become chaotic. Because no one is prepared for something else.
How do you make products sustainable?
Water saving,
And cost
energy
of
saving, reducing the carbon footprint. These are recommendations.
Anytime they can be
Anytime.
mandatory. Volatile fuel costs, vanishing supplies, a hospitality sector pushed to the edge. The global energy crisis is rewriting the rules of the food industry. I'm Gopal Raj, and today we are on the front lines with Avinash Galla, MD of Dana Foodworks. We are breaking down the challenges of traditional gas, the surge in smart energy solutions, and the massive transformations hitting the market right now. If you're in the business of food, you can't afford to miss this. Let's dive in. If you find value in the show, hit that subscribe button right now. We are committed to bringing you the stories and expert insights you need to stay ahead of the curve. Don't miss the next deep dive. Subscribe today. Welcome to the studio, Avinash. We have lots to discuss. What's happening in the food and hospitality business, right? There are many things, many changes happening in the industry. I really look forward to the insights that you have to offer.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Gopal. Thank you for having me here.
yeah.
So, yes,
So currently, we have a global energy crisis,
correct.
right? Uh, how do you see this is affecting the hospitality industry, especially the restaurants, F&B business, your QSRs, hotels? All of them have been affected regardless, right? What do you see? How has it been? It's been bad, worse. Where are we going as as an industry?
If you want me to rate it as bad, worst, it's catastrophic actually.
Okay.
Uh, because if you look at it at a very base level, let's boil it down to a food costing level. Say to make a product that costs you 100 rupees, that including your profit margins or whatever, your heat component, that where either you use electricity or gas or whatever you use for cooking the product, that factors to about 5% to 8%, depending upon the scale of your operation. When you're doing a scale of operation like an institutional catering, where you say you're cooking food for about 2,000 people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people in a session, that means you're cooking it in a period of about 1 to 4 hours time. Your broadly, you will be doing at about 5 to 6%. That will be your heat cost. But on the other side, when you're looking at it a restaurant or a QSR or any fast food chain, there your cost is about 8 to 9%. But then with the present condition, so where your LPG cylinder price, which used to be about 1600-1700, as per the government right now is about 20 to 2400. But then that is not the price at which it is really available out there in the market. So right now what you see is, out in the black market or any other alternative ways people are desperate to source it, it is sitting at about 4800 and 5800. So pretty much we are talking about what used to be a factor of 5 or 8% depending on your scale, now has gone up to about 14% on the 7% or 8% scale, and on a 5% has gone to about 10%. Pretty much you double the price. So at a cost of the product level, which used to be about 100 rupees, now it's about 120, 130 rupees is your production cost. So either you're cutting down on your margin, or second thing is you're cutting down on your menu to keep up with this kind of a escalation in the cost of whatever is available there. So in order to stay afloat, because this is a very big industry, when you say hospitality or a food or any other business that's actively involved into the food thing, are not prepared for something of this kind of a crisis. So what, to stay afloat, what they have done is, say for example, they have 100 items in a menu, and then now they'll have to cut it down to about a 20% of their menu. That means where it used to be 100, they only have 20 items. There's a limitation to how much they are able to do, because whatever limited resources they've got, and still they need to keep their business running. So now they are doing it about 20 or 30 items. In the process, they are also losing out on a lot of the inventory that they have, like the perishable goods, your meats, your products. And then you, like for example, say you want to have something like a kadai paneer or chicken Manchurian. This used to be the good big spread, which used to be generally there. Now that menu is cut down to where only people can create something in bulk, because they don't have any alternative fuel that they can immediately use and start churning out that kind of small portions of dishes. So now they are more focusing on cooking volumes. Like say they want to cook a biryani, or they want to cook in a volume of a chole or a rajma. That is what they are stuck to now, because that is what they can do with whatever fuel that they've got. Apart from that, this is how the operators or the restaurant owners or anyone who has a food business handling the cost challenge that is directly coming because of the LPG or the energy crisis.
That's interesting,
On the
actually.
other side, they're also cutting down on the talent
Okay.
and the manpower and the man hours.
Hmm.
How are you doing this? Because since now you don't have so much to cook,
Hmm.
these people, the owners, are not actually trying to save money. They are trying to keep the business alive. How do you do it? You cut off on your regular costs. So that means there are a lot of layoffs. People are sent on a half salary. So it is scary. We don't know when this is going to get back to normalcy again.
So actually, that's a whole lot of things has gotten changed because of this energy crisis. The first thing is we're talking about the shortage
Yeah.
of the LPG and
Yeah.
how that affects the food that gets prepared. Your menu gets halved or even less, and plus it affects the footfalls in the restaurants, and plus it also affects the talent
True.
who's there, right?
True.
So overall, the entire cycle of the food industry or the hospitality, especially when it comes to food, right? Hospitality might include many others,
Yeah.
but especially when it comes to food, has been affected drastically, is what you would say.
It's become chaotic because no one is prepared for something like this.
Hmm.
So now it's all firefighting. Whatever alternative you can find, whatever alternative way you can do, that is what people are getting it.
Stay afloat,
Stay afloat, stay alive.
stay alive.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, are we seeing any end to this? Any end? Are the government doing any regulations to counter this? Are we seeing any end to? Do we see the light at the end of the tunnel?
India as a country is a very big importer of LPG. About 60% of their LPG for the to cater to their domestic population is imported, and that means that there's no in-house. I mean, India does not make so much to cater to its
We
own
don't
domestic
produce it.
need. We don't produce so much first. So, and when we say 60%, it's not just a 60% number. We are talking about 10,000 trillion metric ton of LPG imported every year.
Hmm.
Now, if this kind of a volume is disrupted, where you're uncertain of even getting about 100 or 1,000 trillion metric ton, which still is a big number, but comparing that to your actual 10,000 trillion metric ton, it's quite a lot.
Hmm. Hmm.
When such a big dependency is there on importing LPG, and then you are not actually able to cater to it, what the government has done is, it's been apart from doing sourcing from the Middle East because of the tension out there, they've been able to secure some alternative
Alternative
sources,
means of
like, yeah,
energy.
alternative countries basically. It's done it with US, it's done it with Canada, it's done it with Russia.
Hmm.
So apparently they've been able to do about 800 trillion
Okay.
metric ton,
Okay.
but we are still very far
Still
from the
far
big number.
from the number.
So I don't think there's an immediate solution to this, because India is not just the one country that is suffering this energy crisis. The entire world is suffering with the same problem, and everyone is in the queue and everyone needs to be fed.
True that.
So,
Hmm.
and when you distribute the limited thing that you got and among the entire world, and I don't see a very immediate solution anytime very soon.
Okay.
So I really hope for it to be very, very soon. But
Hmm.
because since we are directly associated with this industry for a very long time,
Hmm.
my family's been there and associated with this business for about 3 decades now, and it's difficult for us also to watch them suffer.
So it's this has in turn affected you as well, or you as a director of Dana, or has it is it opening up new opportunities, or what is the this thing? What is the
It has, when you say has it affected me, I don't have any direct business where I deal in food. But then the thing is, over time, uh, your entire circle, the people you know,
hmm.
everyone is directly in this
Are in
particular
that
business.
thing? Yes.
And then when they are suffering, it means you are also suffering.
What are your clients telling you? What are they talking about? A lot of black marketing happening with the energy
Yes,
thing,
yes,
right? The clients are also operating half or less,
true.
right? What is the situation there, and what kind of solutions are they looking at, right? Because ultimately you cannot let this just go,
Yeah.
right? Even if the crisis ends or doesn't end, they have to still run a business,
Yeah.
right? So what are they telling you?
The entire food industry, anyone directly or remotely associated with this, the smooth flow is completely destroyed. And then what, there's no smooth operation to it as such, because you don't have the basic requirement. Like if you want to make food, you need the material, the raw material, like your vegetable or
Hmm.
your meats or your pulses. That is one thing. And then you need the skill, and then you need the energy to convert that to actually prepare the food. When you don't have one primary thing like that, the entire system is under chaos actually.
Okay.
So people are coming down to a level where they don't mind using wood fired ways of cooking.
Hmm.
That means you're going
Going
back
back.
Stone Age.
Okay.
So, and even if we say we are Stone Age, this is not going to sustain very long,
Hmm.
because previously we know that few people wanted to use wood fired boilers. So
Okay.
when we say wood
Hmm.
fired boilers, they use those boilers to generate steam. Like this is a typical setup in most of the Udupi
Okay.
industry,
Hmm.
where you make idli, dosa, sambar, and all, or either to keep them hot or
Hmm.
maintain them hot, you use a wood fired boiler. Basically, you convert water into steam,
Hmm.
and then the heat energy from the steam is what you'll use to either steam and make idli,
Okay.
or
This is like
keep
your
your
double boiled.
sambar, yeah,
Double
or
boiled.
keep your sambar
Hmm.
warm,
Hmm.
or maybe even cook whatever requires about 100 110 degrees, whatever can be cooked at those temperatures, you manage.
Hmm.
But then most of those people who tried to copy the Udupi style,
Hmm.
it worked for them because they mastered it.
Hmm.
Starting from a source level of how they source, how much they stock. Stocking wood is a very, very
Yeah.
big thing.
Hmm.
You need an equivalent space as big as your kitchen if you want to stock up.
Hmm.
And what about those days when there is rains, or what about those days when you don't get wood? And especially when you don't have so much wood and the entire country wants wood, I don't think anyone for him is a logical solution that you go on wood. Alternatively, people are looking at electrical sources of heating.
Hmm.
So you have the conventional ways where you have IR heater based equipment, the ones that we also used to
Hmm.
use at home, where you have that small pot with that
Hmm.
red coil
Hmm.
glowing there.
Hmm.
Use that, but even that is also not very much available, because we
Is
are
there a
like,
shortage?
no, it's not the shortage. The thing is, we are predominantly a country where we use flame to cook.
Flame to go. Okay. We are used to
Yeah,
that.
we are used to that conventional way
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
operating.
Hmm.
So because of this, neither is a supplier or a manufacturer in a state to at once. That means
Hmm.
roll back 14 days. There was no news of any shortage whatsoever. And then day 0 to today's day 14, since this energy
The
crisis has
entire
started,
scenario
it has
is
already been escalating and people have become more desperate. People have become more scared, and now it's become a very, very uncertain situation. So apart from that, people are also looking at an induction technology there, and it's equally good, and it's a more efficient technology.
okay.
If you look at me, like which of these is something that you can use. So, and conversely, apart from these three, you can also use fossil fuels like diesel operated or gas operated burners.
Okay.
But then the problem with that is
That's also expensive.
that is expensive in the first place. But since the last 2 days, you already know what's happening around the petrol stations. Now, apart from running my car or my bike, I also have to figure out a way to run my chula.
Okay.
So I'll have to go with a
And
bottle and
not a
get
small chula, but a kitchen.
that is. And then when you use a burner that operates on fossil fuel like diesel or petrol or kerosene or anything, they are typically used in industrial boilers or incinerators. You cannot use it to cook for a simple reason. There's a smell that is associated with it.
And the soot
The
gets.
soot and the smell, both. So it's a little difficult to manage, and pretty much you generally happen to have that flavor sink into your food.
Okay. So, which makes food.
If you remember back in the day, you had those kerosene operated burners on the roads where the
Okay,
guys
the
would-
food will taste different.
Food
obviously.
tastes like kerosene.
Kerosene.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So you spoke about your company, right? So that's Dana.
Yes.
What does your company do? I mean, if you want to kind of summarize
If we
or
have to
describe.
if we have to put ourselves under a big umbrella, then we are called a kitchen technology company. That is where our line comes from, kitchen tech.
Okay.
What we deal in is before even what we deal in is we have had like decades of experience working closely with the chefs, working closely with the chefs in order to give them a solution of how to cook. I mean, what to give them as a solution. Like they have different way operations through which they produce food. When you say different operations, we say like they're about 30,
You mean to
40
say
odd.
kitchen operations, is it?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about how you handle food.
How you handle food?
Yeah.
Okay.
So say like you have a meat, or now you can make it into a stew, you can make it into a curry, you can roast it, you can braise it. So these are basically called cooking functions.
Okay.
There are about 30, 40 odd cooking functions. Now,
predominantly in a
yeah,
commercial
in a
kitchen.
commercial kitchen.
Okay.
So like you say, braising, boiling, roasting, toasting, all these come under
These are your
kitchen
functions. To
cooking
cook food.
functions.
Cooking functions. Okay.
Yes. So now, and the chef, the operator who handles that food, he has got the skill of what he needs to make and how he wants to present it. It is an art form basically.
Okay.
So it's an art form. When I say an art form, it's because you see different chefs cook it differently. That is also the reason why you order the same dish in different restaurants to try out how different it tastes. So basically, we are talking about an art. Now, how effectively the person can recreate has got a lot of dependency on the equipment that he's using. When we talk on equipment, we are talking about the heat source and the way it is going to give you the heat to prepare the food the way you want it consistently without burning it or without undercooking it or without overcooking it. So there are few parameters by which you do
mean temperature regulation and
apart from temperature, the rate at which the heat is transferred.
Okay.
And how much of heat are you putting into the food at that, and how long are you cooking at a particular temperature and a heat setting. So these are the major things. So for a equipment to be able to deliver that kind of a precise setting, you cannot have a normal when I say normal, what I'm trying to tell is if you have a burner and you want to set it to the precise setting you want, there's it is overused that you get used to that particular burner, looking at the height of the flame, looking at the color of the flame, looking at the spread of the flame, but there is no proper metering to it as such. Here at Dana, what we do is all this heat, time, temperature, and the settings. If I want to even save these settings so that I know that it's perfectly worked out in my recipe, all these components are integrated into our machine.
Okay.
That means whenever a chef wants to recall a particular setting to make a particular product, say he wants to make paneer, kadai paneer, he needs it to exactly operate at that temperature at that time for that specific temperature. He can save and then he can recall, so that he is not again doing the fine tuning. Instead, he can do what he's actually wanting to do instead of trying to figure out and being an engineer around the machine.
Okay. Okay.
So Dana basically makes your life simple, and over that we also are into sustainable equipment. When we say sustainable equipment, we are talking about saving energy. Conventionally, the broadly used energy that's in and across India is we use LPG. So LPG or other sources of electricity. When you say LPG to an induction operated equipment,
So you also operate in LPG or?
no, we Dana is exclusively into induction technology
Okay.
alone,
Okay.
electrically operated. So when you do LPG and an
So no
induction,
fire in
there's
the
no
sense.
fire. It's a flame free,
Okay.
and it's an absolutely safe. So safety is one of the primary part why Dana exists.
Okay.
So it's flame free.
Okay. Okay. So which means the smoke and all
There
those
is
things is
no
not
smoke,
okay.
and especially even if you look at an alternative electrically operated equipment, how the electrically operated equipment works is there is an IR heater fitted to the equipment.
Okay.
When we say IR heater, we're talking about an infrared heater.
Okay.
So say there's a heater and then you have a plate on top. So whatever is the surface that touches your plate will get hot, and that is the heat you actually use.
Hmm.
That's the usable.
Hmm.
Apart from what is touching, there's about 50% that is untouched, and there's a little radiant heat that comes. That means still you're losing about 35% of waste heat. That's a dissipated heat,
Okay.
which will heat up the atmosphere around
Okay.
the cooking range, makes your kitchen uncomfortable. More than anything, you're losing out on useful energy.
Hmm.
Induction is very different.
Hmm.
It is an 85% efficient system.
Okay.
The only dissipated heat that is there is to cool the control systems. There is no radiant heat from the element as such,
Okay.
and even the working temperature is very comfortable.
So in light of the energy crisis, you must be making a killing now. Have you? Because I mean generally if I'm running a restaurant,
Yeah.
I don't have LPG. Okay.
Yes.
I'll be looking at, like you mentioned, electric,
Yeah.
firewood, obviously not firewood because you cannot go on cutting
True.
trees and so
True.
and so,
True.
right? So I would be either looking at electric or induction,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So how has your I mean lately how has the induction thing been going? There've been
Induction as a technology.
lot of news on induction. I'm not sure of the commercial kitchen aspect of
Yeah.
it, but more from the home induction. I've heard that in the market people are not getting the induction units, right? Is that the case with you, or what is it?
The problem right now is induction is a new technology in India. When we say new, it's not like it just come a month back or a year back. It's been there for about 5 years now. But even before 5 years, if you look at the Western countries or if you look at the European countries, pretty much there is no flame anywhere. Everyone uses induction.
Okay.
But then when you say induction, induction is also at a smaller value. I mean, say like if you want to relate it to something like you need a burner that produces about it's able to burn about 1 kilo of LPG per hour, which is a pretty big burner. And to have the same capacity on an induction, what is commercially available out there is very, very small capacity burners,
Okay.
induction ones, induction coils. So when we talk about induction coils and then you want to cook in a volume, there has until 3-4 years back they've not been really able to have this technology that can give you that kind of output. The limitation was cooking in volume. Like when you wanted to make about 1 kilo, 2 kilo, 3 kilos, that was the maximum you can cook on what was available previously on induction. But since 3-4 years, what's happened is induction has evolved as a technology, and people have been able to handle 200, 300, 400 kilos on one particular unit. So
Okay.
in terms of technology, that's been a development. And even in India, if you look at any of this, most of the corporate places and any big buildings and all, they have gone flame free. Since the past 3 years, actively we've been seeing LPG operated, gas operated things phasing out. The primary reason for this is safety, but apart from that, equally important is they are more energy efficient. When you
Okay.
compare an LPG to a induction, there's about a 50% saving.
Okay. Okay. But how come then the hospitality industry are reeling under pressure if they've moved partially to induction, right? Then they should be buffered to an extent, right?
The problem is people have got used to, the operators have got used to working on LPG so much that they have not actively pursued it, changing towards induction.
What is the percentage? What is the percentage like?
As of now, it's
Say
about
for
20.
example, a centralized kitchen and multiple restaurants, right? Any brands like those,
Yeah.
right? Um, Rameshwaram Cafe or
Yeah.
any other brand
If
of that scale, right? So, what would be the split of LPG versus induction?
to
I'm not
place
quoting
it
on a
modestly,
particular play.
to place it modestly, 80 to 85%, the major segment operate on LPG. There's
Okay.
only 20, 15, 20% that actually operate on electrical or induction sources for heat.
Induction sources. Okay. If they would have had more of a chunk of this, maybe the pressure would have been less. Would you
If,
say that?
if they had more of a chunk, like a few of
Hmm.
our clients who have induction, right now they had the last laugh. That's what I would
Okay. Who
keep
are
it
your
as.
clients? Who are your clients? Who do you cater to? What industries?
We
What?
cater to people into these food handling facilities
Okay.
that do institutional caterings, and
Okay.
then we also do for QSRs,
Okay.
and then we do for standalone restaurants.
Okay.
So pretty much anyone and everyone who is into making food
Hmm.
is our client.
So large scale.
Yeah,
Large
large
scale
scale,
cooking.
small scale, medium scale, any scale, whoever is into food is our potential client.
Small scale in the sense you can also give it to a small
Yeah, yeah.
50-seater restaurant.
To make it very simple,
Hmm.
anything that can be cooked on a burner,
Hmm.
big, small, large, medium,
Okay.
burner
Okay.
can also be done on the equivalent capacity of an induction.
So one key question to you,
Yeah.
right? If induction or electric or the cleaner forms of energy were this good, right? Like you mentioned, why hasn't the industry already, moved to these kind of energy forms? What are the reason? I
The
mean, the government has not put a stop on this. So what is stopping, or what has been stopping?
the primary reason what we've noticed from at our particular angle is people are used to conventional methods in general, and they are more comfortable because you don't have to learn, you don't have to train, you don't need staff that needs a special coaching on how to use a simple source such as a stove. So we've come across a lot of instances where the owners or the business operators have actually done their math and figured out that this is going to save them at least 10-15% more
Hmm.
in terms of when you say 10-15%, you're saving in terms of your operational cost or running cost or bringing down your manufacturing cost of the food product. But still, the problem for them is the operator,
Hmm.
the base level, who's actually at the burner, or they are not really willing to adapt
But
to.
isn't this good in terms of, it doesn't heat up the temperature? If
It
going
is
by that,
good, but
or are
it's
we in a habitual loop?
more than anything, I would say it's a stigma basically. Uh,
Okay.
Once you start using it and you actually enjoy, if I want to put it in a very basic term, then when you operate near an induction base heat source, it'll be as good as you functioning in an AC room. Conventionally, if you operate around an LPG burner, then you got to have a towel
Yeah.
in your apron too.
Yeah, we've seen that.
That's what is there. That's a comfort. And over that, just because you don't see a flame, it does not mean there's no heat.
Can you name a few brands which are completely transitioning into clean energy? They've taken this conscious decision saying that okay, we need to move
Yeah.
to this clean
See,
energy.
majorly, I've seen the bigger institutional catering people because their consumption of fuel is heavy because their operations are at that scale. When you're catering to something like a 25,000, 30,000, 40,000 meals per session or like a 1 lakh meals per day, your cost directly associated with the fuel is very heavy. And then apart from that, your kitchen also has to be comfortable. And when you're operating at that kind of a volume, say I need to give dal to 1 lakh people, and then for some reason, some fault of the equipment or some overlooking, I happen to burn that product. All of this goes into trash. That means I'm just trying to tell you that it is very, very sensitive when you're operating on a large scale. So these are the people who have first and actively looked at this and changed. A few companies like Sodexo or Compass or other different things. I mean, there are a lot of them, but these are the ones that I know who have already started adapting this. For even these restaurant chains, good, big, reputed ones, uh, apart from they having their own independent property, like at a good, say on a good road, on a good locality, like say in Hyderabad, you want to have it on Banjara Hills, then the building is yours, or you leased out the building all to yourself, and you can do whatever you want. You put flame, you put gas, you put coal, no one really cares. But then when you want to operate in some corporate building, now what options do you have? Because safety is one top priority now, and then you cannot have flame. So you will have to adopt and you will have to get into a solution that is flame free.
So you're saying we need a little push. Is that so?
See,
You need
either
a nudge,
you push or
nudge,
you fall,
or a
but either
nudge.
ways you have
Okay.
to get there.
You mentioned that induction is better,
Yeah.
right? So the first thing as a restaurateur, if I'm a restaurateur, I would be asking you how is it better, right? Is there have you measured this, or is there a scale to comparison versus the traditional means? How did we come at this inference?
Uh, I have two things to answer in your question. The first part is how is it better? When you say how it is better is when you have more precise control on the temperature, on the heat, the rate of heat transfer, the time, you're avoiding a lot of food waste because you're not letting your process parameters go beyond your desired values. So there's no burnout, and your consistency is absolute.
Okay.
Unlike your conventional ways, where your dependency is based on what you see visually, like size of the flame, color of the flame. Beyond that, there's no metering to it.
No,
Other than a very
I was talking about from an energy point of view.
at
Like
Dana,
if there are units to be said that okay, traditional means this is the energy. I mean, can you
yeah,
even
yeah.
compare?
So no, we've actually done this.
Okay.
So we've specifically done this on a 10 kg biryani production itself. Before we do this, while we were putting our presets and parameters into our machines, we closely worked with chef. During one of the processes, we tried to cook a 10 kilo of biryani. While we are making this 10 kilo of biryani, what we wanted to actually figure out is are we able to make biryani perfect?
Okay. Same consistency,
Yeah,
both of
same
it.
consistency, both. But then we've also got a lot of data from that in terms of how much energy are we actually saving, how fast is the process. So if you look at a conventional way of cooking biryani, 10 kgs of biryani takes you a cooking time of about 1.5 hours. And then there's 1 hour before that where you actually prepare the marinade and the pre-prep and all. The actual cooking time is 1.5 hours. To cook 10 kgs through 1.5 hours of cooking time, you'll
That
need
is through LPG, is it?
with LPG.
LPG.
With
Okay.
LPG,
Okay.
you need about 1.5 kilo to 2.5 kilos of LPG.
LPG. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What does it cost?
1500 grams to 2500 grams of
Okay.
LPG.
Okay.
So why there is a 1 kg difference is, see, burners are not 100% efficient. It depends on what flame you're putting and the condition of the burner.
I know
Is
the
it
wastage.
getting the
Wastage.
proper air? Has the burner recently been serviced? So modestly, you can take it at 2 kgs.
Okay.
Between 1.5 and 2.5 kilos, you take it at 2 kilos. That's a practical way of getting to the data. Your commercial cylinder now costs you about 2,200 rupees for 19 kg cylinder.
2,200.
100
That is
rupees.
after today.
That is as on today.
As of today, that's the escalation.
Previously, it was about 1,700, 1,600 bucks.
1,700. Okay.
Now it's
Okay.
220.
Okay. Well calculated for now.
Yes. So when you come to bring it down to 1 kilo, that is, you divide 2,200 divided by 19 kilos, the commercial cylinder size. 110 rupees is the per kilo price of LPG.
Okay.
To make 10 kg of biryani, you had to operate for 1.5 hour cooking with 2 kilos of LPG.
Okay.
You multiply 2 kilos with 110 rupees.
Okay.
So you're able to
220.
get 220 rupees is your
20.
cost of your LPG to make 10 kilos
LPG.
of biryani.
Okay.
So we finished the story on how we've got to the data with the LPG. And now when I want to do the same 10 kilo biryani on an induction, it practically took us 1 hour. 1 hour on
Okay.
an 8 kilowatt rated induction system, heat source. So commercial power prices ranging between 8 rupees to 12 rupees. Even on the higher side, I take 12 rupees. And 1 hour of 8 kilowatt induction unit running will be about 8 multiplied by 12 is about 96 rupees. So we are closely saving to about 55% against the
96 rupees.
220 rupees and 96.
So this is just for 10 kgs of biryani.
This is just for 10 kgs. You scale it up and then the numbers are different. Apart from that, you are making the same 10
And
kilo.
so, for example, an outlet, a good biryani place, right? A good biryani restaurant chain
Yeah.
would make around 500 kgs easily a day.
Yeah. So
Okay.
then you divide that 500 by 10.
Okay.
That is 50 rounds.
Okay.
And multiplied by your savings
Okay.
of 110 rupees.
But wouldn't they have already moved to induction if this is the savings?
They should have moved. But then, see, there's a saying, when push comes to shove, now is push comes to shove.
Okay.
So now is when
So
you
the
have
energy
to
crisis
actively
will make.
look at it. And while you are actually adapting to the induction technology,
Okay.
you will also feel that this should have been done long back, and it could have been started way before. You'll, with every hour you operate, you are saving money.
What are the cons of induction? We discussed the pros. Of course,
The cons
cost.
of induction is the capital cost is high, but then if you do a math of how much money you're saving by operating to get the same product volume, say like let's get back to the 10 kg biryani only. Now I was able to save in times half an hour, 1.5 hour on LPG against 1 hour here.
Okay.
That means for in every 3 hours of operation, I can make 30 kgs of biryani on induction against 20 kg of biryani on electricity.
Okay.
Because that was taking. So my turnaround, my yield is much higher.
Okay.
Over that, at that yield also, I'm doing it 50% the cost.
Okay.
So my kitchen, I know all of a sudden now it's gone up by about 33% in terms of its output altogether during the same hours of operation.
Okay.
While I'm paying the same salary, same rent, same everything, my general cost of running my operations through the month, I'm able to get a 33% output in extra.
Okay.
My kitchen is more comfortable. My staff is more happy because there's no radiant heat. And also, I'm saving a lot on the fuel. You do all this together. Conventionally, a burner operates in a kitchen for a period of 8 to 12 hours in normal circumstances. Morning, afternoon, and evening sessions, 4 hours. If you're even considering these 12 hours of operation, you'll be able to recover the entire of your machine cost.
Okay.
Within 18 months.
Okay. So the ROI, if there is a return on, you mentioned that the technology itself is expensive,
Yeah.
right? So a restaurant chain wants to kind of upgrade to this technology.
Yes.
They buy equipment. So when can they look at a turn? What did you
But there's
mention?
also another thing, apart
Mm,
from looking at it as just one thing where
mm,
you are able to get more output,
okay.
use less energy,
Mm,
save on fuel cost. You also look at the operations that you're reducing in the kitchen,
okay. The manpower.
the manpower.
Okay.
Because what could the biggest burner can cook at a time about 40 kilos.
Mm,
But then on an induction, the case is different because your heat is much more spread evenly across a larger surface.
okay.
So you can do 200, 300 kilos using the same one person
Okay.
on one space at one spot. That's how it's different.
Okay.
So
Okay. So you're saying the
operations are reduced,
ROI is not just in terms of energy, but it's in terms of this. But
operations as well.
is there a kind of measurement you've done, or have you said that, okay, now if you buy this product, I'll be able to recover
The cost
in the
of
cost and so and
installation,
so. I understand it depends on the output of the
usage,
kitchen
the
and
usage
stuff,
basically.
usage of the kitchen.
Well, say I may buy a very expensive induction
Mm,
equipment. I may spend about 8 or 10 lakhs and buy one 200-liter big pan,
okay,
and then I operate only for 1 hour. Maybe it'll take me 10 years to
okay,
recover.
okay,
But if I'm effectively using it for my scale of operation, so I'm using it for 12 hours a day, then within a year and a half, 2 years, you already made your money out of the machine. The machine's life is 15 years.
the machine, the
The
induction
the
machine.
induction machines life is
Okay,
15.
okay. So the wear and tear also is
See,
less
everything is serviceable,
serviceable.
but then it's not going to be like the capital cost that you bought in the machine.
Hmm.
So you
Hmm.
you invested 100 rupees into the machine. Your running cost over 10 year, over an year could be 5 rupees.
Okay, okay,
That's there for any operational equipment. That's there for any machine.
okay, okay.
Even if you are using a small LPG burner, still you got to have it cleaned. The tube gets worn out, or the burner gets failed, or some breakage is there, some welding is required. It's always a part of whatever you use
So
it.
just tell me this energy crisis which has hit the world, right? So are these businesses thinking about, okay, before I was thinking that, okay, I just need to buy a vessel and LPG, right? So I'll keep my costs very minimal there,
Hmm.
and I will put my costs in my the look of the restaurant or the food or the raw material. So now the thought process is going to be, let me invest in equipment, right? So
Yeah,
that will be my cost, and then I will recover over time. Has
yeah.
the thought will the thought process change
I
like
also
this?
wanted to add one more thing in what you
Okay,
just said. Generally, the mindset of an investor is, say I have a 5,000 SFT space.
okay.
I'll take 4,500 SFT to set up a beautiful restaurant, spacious, lavish, put the best of the artwork and the interiors and stuff. And then in the rest of the 500 SFT, that general perception is that's very much adequate. You want to churn out the food. The reason why you started the business is to sell food, and that's where the profit comes out.
Yes, the
When you
food
run
is
a
the
business, it's
business.
basically for profit or how you want to get money out of it. Now you're compromising on the production part. But here, when we say the kitchen, uh, when you open any restaurant or any food service outlet, the client is going to come the first time for your ambience, definitely. After he's come, whether will he come back to you again or not is going to majorly depend on taste of your food first, quality of your food. As equally important is your service time.
Hmm.
In general, a person loses his patience after 8 minutes of him placing the
Hmm.
food order. Where is my food? If your kitchen is not equipped to serve your food on the right time, hot, same consistency, everything, then the client is not going to come back. Your customer is not going to come back because he is not going to walk out with a bad experience, and you don't expect him to come back to have one more bad experience. What I'm trying to get here is your kitchen efficiency is very important. in terms of churning out food, same quality, same consistency, fast.
Okay. So is this induction technology
Yeah,
that Dana is a proponent of,
yeah.
right? Um, is it the same across? Is it the same across all brands, all suppliers, or all manufacturers? Is it the same, or is it different that I kind of have a different kind of induction equipment? My cooking goes even
No.
better or less better.
Here at Dana, we've spent 5 years only understanding the technology and how well can this be smoothly adapted to the cooking.
Okay.
So when we say how you adapt it is, that induction coil. See, is you just need
Yeah,
to have an
induction coil
induction
is,
coil and put
yeah.
a plate and you get it hot. That's induction technology. But this is not usable unless you understand how the rate of heat transfer is there and how you need to set the temperature, how you need to factor the time into it. To do all that, you need to understand how it functions in the first place. And over that, once you know how it's functioning, now you also need to be able to understand how you can save it into your machine. Because you're only seeing something on a screen or a button where either you're turning or
Mm.
operating, doing the different settings of power, time, temperature, and then you switch off the machine and switch it on, it's new. You got to reset everything again. Now it gets very difficult for an operational kitchen to remember 100 settings if he's making 100 different ways of cooking. So saving that is an important thing where you need to be able to recall it whenever you want at an instant. This is something where the present alternate manufacturers, they do not have this. And what we've come across is there's a lot of overheating, burning. There's also there's one more primary reason why people say that no, sir, there's no even heating across, food is getting burned, because the guy who's made it has not understood how to make it in the first place. So at Dana, we've sorted all of that and we made something that's a proper product. To
Now, how is your induction different?
how our
I
induction is
mean, for
different.
example, I'm a business guy. I'm saying, okay, induction to induction hai.
Hmm.
Take from this company or that company. So
See, like I said,
no, induction coil is the same.
no, 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 no.
So, for example, one more question, add-on question to this: is this imported? Is this imported material, or how is it? I mean, you
See, product is fully made in India,
okay?
and then we have done it in collaboration with a Japanese company for the technology.
Okay.
The components are for mass production. They've been sourced from China and Korea. So this is where we get our products from. Uh, while we've designed this, what we have taken into consideration is the longevity of the coil itself, because it operates on a very high frequency switching
Okay.
power. So how Dana is different is like if you want something to work on induction, the plate or the pot in which you cook itself is the heater. When
Okay.
you place this pot in an induction field, that gets hot.
Okay.
For the pot to get hot, it has to be a magnetic material.
Hmm.
Basically, if you use a magnet, it has
The
to
container
be,
gets heated,
yeah.
right? Okay.
For that to happen, the container has to be magnetic.
Hmm.
But as you know, the good grades of food steel is 300 series is what it's called. You either call it a 304 stainless steel, or even at a higher level it's called 316, where it's used in marine applications
Okay.
where corrosion is very
Hmm.
high,
Hmm.
or some chemical factories react. There's not a lot of people, or pretty much there's no one who is able to give you a solution where your entire food contacts are in 304 or even 316. People
Okay.
use another different grade of steel, though it is compliant with your food standards, because even your knives and all which stick against a magnet
Hmm.
is a 400 series of steel, it is called.
Okay.
But then it's prone to rusting and corrosion,
Okay.
unlike your
Okay.
300 series like 304 or 316. So
Okay.
that is a patent technology that we have. Apart from that, like I also told you, when you have a,
Patented technology which Dana has. Is
yes,
it? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And then apart from that, even
And
the
what happens if you have used this particular metal? What happens? the
See,
food
the
gets
thing is,
better
the
or
food. No, the thing is, the metal does not interact with your food.
okay.
The metal has to be inert,
No, okay.
inert to the food, because you don't want
As
have
much
you,
inert as possible.
you don't want any rust to be seeping into your food, and that's what you consume.
Okay, okay.
So if that is your concern, then you cannot use 400 series. Then you might as well use an iron dish.
Okay, okay,
So you might as well properly have a proper magnetic food and have it.
okay.
So instead of cooking in a
Hmm.
thing that is fully food
Okay,
compliant.
okay.
And apart from this, when we say induction from Dana, our entire heat surface is uniform. There is no hotspots. And
Okay,
when you don't have hotspots, what happens is you don't have burns of the food anywhere.
okay.
So say if I have a 100-liter pan and I want to make some 10 liters or 20 liters, so the bottommost layer that is in contact with the base where the heat comes from, if there's a hotspot, that's where it's going to burn.
Okay.
But we have a thing called as 5 sense technology, where from 5 different points in the equipment, when the container where the food is being cooked, data is constantly taken, processed in a microcontroller, and my rate of heat transfer is what the machine will decide irrespective of my settings, so that
Okay.
my food is not getting burned. This is another patent technology that we have.
Okay.
And also our good our higher variants of the machine, they come with pressure cooking functions,
Okay.
where like how you cook in a pressure cooker, you can cook here, not to the same level of pressurization as in a pressure cooker, but here you can do it to a 1 bar pressure
Okay.
above the atmospheric pressure.
Okay.
So
And what is your
that
quantity
makes it
like?
fast.
What is the quantity like of your equipments? Is
Our
it
maximum capacity of our machine is rated at 200 liters capacities.
200?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have thoughtfully made. There are people who make it 300, 400, 500.
Okay.
But then, like I told you, we've been associated with food industry for the past
Okay. So
30,
this is like
30 years.
what most of the
No, it's not about most. The mechanical components that need to go into a machine to
okay.
support that kind of a load.
Okay. Okay.
So
Hmm.
see, if you even if you see your good engineered products like either German or European machines, they don't make you a 500 kilo handling vessel or a 300, because there's been some engineering that's gone into it.
And Indian cooking is
Ah,
very different from European
ah.
ones also.
It doesn't mean that
Right?
I'll make a 10-meter by 10-meter
Hmm.
vessel and cook food for 1,000 people at once. I mean, 1
Right.
lakh people at once. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot of engineering that goes to how much a componenting can take in terms of mechanical stress, thermal stress.
Hmm.
These are things. So Dana is a very finely engineered product. So once a person has bought it, then the serviceability is very good. I mean, in terms if you look at it, the downtime, or even if you got a service, it's very fast and it's very modular. Every component is replaceable with the other component. So the inventory in terms of stock that you have to maintain for the spares is also pretty low, because all the components are interchangeable.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of R&D that's gone into making of the product, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
You
you
have
think this
pressure.
can counter the shortage in the
Yes, this
energy
can
that's happening in the hospitality
this
industry?
can absolutely counter the shortage that is there.
And maybe there's a nudge
Yeah.
for most people, right? Most
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
decision makers or
People will have to evolve. People will have to make up. People will have to change if they want to continue being in this business. This is just a call that we got, and since you got something that you're still able to handle, and this is not the first time it will happen. It could also happen again, but you need to catch up with what's evolving in terms of technology if you want to stay in the business. That's how this is.
it's a make or break.
Yes.
Uh, the other thing is you spoke about sustainability, right?
Yeah.
What is sustainable about your products?
When we talk about sustainability,
I know the
yeah.
world is
So
talking about
yes,
sustainability, and there are a lot of brands out there talking about it.
true, true.
Okay, while I'm not sure how much sustainable it is and so, because
Correct,
I'm not the
correct.
expert at it, but since you mentioned,
Yeah.
how do you make products sustainable?
See, at Dana, this products they operate on electricity basically. So we're talking about clean green energy, as a first place. We are reducing your carbon emissions there, controlling the, reducing the carbon footprint, and also the equipment has got a 15-20 years of life. So thereby making it like, when a machine is not usable over a long time, it becomes scrap, and that's again not sustainable. When you have a machine that lasts over a very long time, that also adds to sustainability. And we have our technology which is called a dynawash technology, through which, when you have to, after cooking using a particular equipment, you got to wash the equipment so that it can be used for the next operation. Say
Okay.
I
To make a next dish, you
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Okay.
So say I cooked like dal or something, and then now I'm done cooking. I've got the product out, and then I want to make the next product. To wash that, it consumes a lot of water,
Okay.
and manually there's no metering to it. Like either you're using a hose or you're getting a bucket and constantly wasting. Then in Dyna we have our own patented technology. It's called a DynaWash system, where at a press of a button, uh, using about 35-40 liters per cycle, you'll be able to completely clean your equipment, use it for the next cycle.
Okay.
And when we say 30 to 40 liters, conventionally you consume about 100 to 110 liters. So you're saving close to about 60 odd liters on every cycle.
On every wash, you
Wash
mean?
cycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is water saving
Water saving,
and cost,
energy
of course.
saving, green, zero carbon emissions. So these are the
Okay.
broad things
Okay.
that you look
Okay. And this is all measured
at. Yeah, this is all
and metered
measured
or
and
something at
yeah,
your end, is it?
yeah.
Okay. And this is what also is a selling
The
thing.
machine, our
Sorry.
machines have also got a system where you can real time track how much of energy you are actually using.
Okay. In
So
units.
in
Kind of thing.
units, you
Okay.
can give it a data sampling interval,
Okay.
say like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and you can have a data for 90 days.
So the chef can see
He can see
how
how
many.
much he's operated. He
Okay.
can, in fact, just by looking at a screen at the end of the day, know at what was a peak hour at which how much power he's consumed.
Okay.
Throughout the day, how much is consumed. Throughout the month, throughout the 90 days, how much is consumed. Everything is at a glance, you can get it.
So all this is automated.
All this is automated.
Okay. Okay. So how much of automation happens in this? I mean, what's the?
Uh,
Is it like
you
you
need,
just need the chef and you know?
yeah, you need a chef, you need the machine, and then the product is there. However, the chef wants it.
Okay. And is this the same for many of the commercial cooking products, or is it specific to only Dana?
Uh, we would proudly claim this is only specific
Okay.
to Dana. So,
well,
yeah,
well, I've not seen other products,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, we.
yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
not there. It's not available as of now.
Okay.
The
Okay.
features that Dana has got
Okay.
with induction technology being
Okay.
its primary
So,
thing,
which means everything is measured, metered. So
everything
that
is
ways you
engineered.
say so. So next time you go to a client, you say that okay, we are sustainable because all this is measured, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So is that so? And many of the companies say that okay, we are a sustainable company or we are a sustainable restaurant. Does it mean in terms of energy usage, water usage, or like you mentioned, okay, the product, you know,
When anyone claims that they
hmm,
are sustainable, they are either doing one of these or doing all of it.
okay,
So, however, you are contributing to being a sustainable by the saving water, saving energy, emitting less greenhouse gases like a carbon dioxide,
hmm,
reducing the carbon footprint, or not generating too much of scrap because of your activity. It all comes under sustainability, basically.
okay. And
Yeah.
India did kind of promise a list of things, for the climate change thing.
Yeah.
Are businesses, especially the hospitality industry, right? Do they have to comply with certain things aligned with the climatic change?
At the moment, these are all recommendatory things that the government
These are
has.
recommendations, is
Yeah,
it?
these are
Okay.
recommendations. But
Not mandated by the government.
anytime they can be mandated.
Or anytime they can be
Anytime.
mandated.
True, true.
Okay.
It may not be immediate or it may be immediate. But
Okay.
then whenever it is, it will become a mandate.
So the
Almost, living few countries, most of the countries, US, European countries. These guys are like very strict on their norms when they come to like they're strict to
Everyone is
a
talking about
they're
carbon
strict to a
footprint.
stage
Huh?
where say a company operating in US has to give a subcontractor to some other company operating in India or in Africa or wherever.
Okay.
These subcontractors also have to comply with their carbon footprint reduction guidelines.
Okay. There's not just hospitality, but
Yeah, in
all
general. Yeah,
industries
yeah.
and
So if that is how it is, and you might positively look at we transitioning there as well, and that becoming a mandate.
sure. So thanks a lot for joining us in the studio, Avinash.
Yes,
I mean,
thank you.
great, insightful conversation we had, and a lot of food entrepreneurs, restaurant owners, and they could take a leaf out of this conversation.
Yeah,
And kudos to what you've achieved with Dana, and all the best for your business.
sure. Thank
Okay,
you. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.